Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another Odysseyware explanation video. This time for Assignment 8, Preparing to Write a Paper, otherwise known as Make an Outline. So, about half of you are actually already done with this, although you have a couple things to correct, and about half of you are about to start this assignment, so I figured I needed to do this just to try to clear some things up, and I'm sorry that this wasn't done earlier. This will be kind of brief, or at least I hope it will be. So, on Odysseyware, Assignment 8, Preparing to Write a Paper, it's essentially asking you to write an outline, which is another type of organizational tool to help you organize your thoughts before you start writing. So there's some reading there to do, there's some conversation about choosing a topic, because you have to pick a topic before you can write anything. It is always advisable to pick a topic about something you like, enjoy, or already know a little bit about. Those are the easiest things to write about, and once you pick your topic, you have to brainstorm some ideas, because you can't write an outline until you have an idea of what you want to say about that topic. And what you want to say will vary depending on the topic you have chosen. The previous writing assignment, the compare and contrast, you picked two things you liked and said which was better. So you wrote about, or you talked about, the things you liked about each of those. For this one, as we scroll down through all the questions to the bottom, and it gives you an example of an outline. We'll come back to this because this is very important to look at, because there are some very important things of how an outline needs to be done. I'm going to come down to the doing it yourself portion, the actual assignment, where it gives you some suggestion topics. 3 things your mother or father does on the job, 3 things to look for in the library, 3 things a mail carrier must do. 3 things, because that gives us 3 body paragraphs, which is the basis of our standard 5-paragraph essay, where we then tack on an introduction and a conclusion. So, I'm going to come down here, and it says I can pick my own topic. You may choose your own topic if you prefer. This might be used later, wink, in a future assignment where you will do another writing. So, down here, I'm going to start writing, and the very first thing, always, is write out the topic. And so for me, I'm going to stick with their format of 3 things, and I'm going to write 3 things you have to know when learning to play guitar. That's going to be my outline. So the very first thing I do is I have that written in, 3 things you have to know when learning to play guitar. So, the next thing I need for an outline are my 3 main points, my 3 things. And you see them appear in this example, which I'm going to keep scrolling back up to. Here are their 3 things of the baking of a cake: preparation, mixing, and baking. Notice that before each of these is a Roman numeral, 1, 2, 3. The font doesn't help. These are supposed to be capital letter I's, Roman numerals, not the number 1 repeated a few times. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to go 1, and if you notice here, you can barely see where it's definitely a capital I. The font changes between this and what it looks like when I read it. So, number 1, what is the first thing someone needs to know when learning how to play guitar? They need to know how to tune it. And to know how to tune the guitar. The second thing someone needs to know when learning how to play a guitar is they need to know how to make chords. And the third thing someone needs to know when learning how to play guitar is how to strum. And there's my first 3. There's my 3. So I have my topic, 3 things you need to know when learning to play guitar: tuning, forming chords, and strumming. Let's make that strumming, not strum. Now, going back up, for each of these things, I need at least 2 supporting points. This is my main idea, the focus of a paragraph. I need at least 2 supporting points, or 2 details that support that main point. I need at least 2 to make a fully fleshed out paragraph, and the rules of an outline say that if there is an A, there has to be a B. If there is a 1, there has to be a 2, and so on. You don't have to have a 3. Notice only one of these has a C. So I need at least an A and a B for each of my main points. So I'm going to come back down. Now, before I do that, let's go back up actually. Notice how this is formatted. 1, preparation, and the A is not right underneath the 1. It's not all the way over here. It's not all the way down here. It's just 1 line under, but it is indented. It is spaced over. I need to make sure I do that here. So I'm going to go to tuning. I'm going to enter down a line. Now I can't tab over because that takes me out of the writing window, but I can space. And the general rule is if you can't tab, you press space 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A. There we go. Capital A. Now what's the first thing they need to know about tuning? They need to know what the notes of the strings are. Okay, so I'm just going to do a basic outline. I'm not going to worry about sentences here. They have sentence outlines, choose the recipe, gather the ingredients. They're using complete sentences. I'm going to stick with a topic outline for this right now, just to make it go a little bit faster. Ultimately, this outline is for me to write a paper on. I'm the one who has to understand it. And as long as I know what I mean here, it's a good tool and it'll be useful later. So, my B will be the fact that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, make sure to space over. Strings are upside down. Okay, so there's that. There's my A, there's my B for my number 1. So now I'm going to quickly go through an A and a B for my second and third main idea, and then I'll be done with my outline. I'm going to fast forward through this so you can kind of see it as we go. And here we go. Okay, so here is my completed outline. 3 things you have to know when learning to play the guitar. 1, tuning. String notes, strings are upside down. 2, forming chords. Curl fingers away from strings. Use only your fingertips. Press fingers firmly onto fretboard. 3, strumming. Easiest to strum with a pick. Difference between a downstroke and an upstroke. And that's my outline. This is by no means a complete paper, but that's not what this is about. This is about forming an outline, which is an organizational tool. It's step 2 in the writing process, which is the pre-writing. Step 3 is the rough draft, which is the next assignment to turn this outline into a draft where I will expand on each point and actually do my writing while creating and adding in an introduction and a conclusion. So, that's an outline. Notice the formatting here and how it looks. That is important. It has to look this way, just like the example here. I hope this makes a little more sense if this was confusing. There's also a written out version of this that is posted to Google Classroom. So if you need to, go check that out. I hope this helped. Have a great day. Good luck.